That is it is improper.
And those on the right side, watch your hands and feet as the warden's about to close the doors. All right, everyone.
Scoot over. That way, right center.
Okay, now watch your hands and feet as the warden closes the doors. And most important, we ask that everybody remain seated at all times. Very important to us. Okay, we all set to go on a safari?
Yeah.
We say here in Harambe, Twende, and Twende means let's go. Well, Jambo everybody, and welcome aboard Kilimanjaro Safari. My name is Bob, and I'm going to be your game driver for today's photo safari of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now, if you have any photo or video equipment, just hold on to it tightly, because I can't stop to pick up anything that falls out. And again, we do ask that you remain seated at all times. If you have any small children, you might want to sit them up in your lap. It's a lot easier for them to see that way. But please do not hold them up in the air or stand them up in your lap. A lot of the roads here in the reserve are quite rough. Right up above your head, so you'll find a game spotting guide. Now, the first place we're going to be heading is the Aturi Forest. A lot of the animals that do live in the forest have the ability to camouflage themselves in the underbrush, so we'll keep a close lookout behind the trees, logs, and tall grass. Oh, way up there on the right, behind the bamboo now, and I hope he comes out, there's an okapi. Okapis do look something like a zebra, but they're a member of the giraffe family. They're a very elusive animals. Okapis weren't known to the Western world until after 1900. Down on the lagoon on the left, there's a large white bird down there, a little gray in his feathers. Those are some pink-backed pelicans. Those pelicans will normally work together to herd fish into shallower water. A lot easier for them to feed that way. And a lot of times on the far shore, we'll see black rhinoceros. Oh, there's one up there sunning himself. Now, although rhinos seem indestructible, they've been heavily hit by poachers. And unfortunately, there are less than 4,000 of them left in Africa today. Oh, right on top of the hill on the left, there's a large black and white bird with a yellow bill. Excuse me, with an orange bill. That's a saddle-billed stork. And they're the largest stork in Africa. They're about 5 feet tall with an 8 to 9 foot wingspan. And also over on the right is a gray animal with white stripes. Greater kudus, they're called. They're the second largest antelopes in Africa. Male kudus, they'll get up to about 750 pounds. Now those are all females right there. Easy to tell them apart. Males have horns and females don't. You know, that sounds like the reserve warden is up in the air right now. Why don't we see if we can contact him? Simba 1 calling Warden Wilson Matua. Are you making the rounds this afternoon?
Yes, Simba 1. and today I have a passenger. Miss Johnson, my favorite wildlife researcher.
I'm Jumbo, everyone.
Wilson, we're at the Safi River and we're going to be heading north to the savannah. If you have any wildlife spotting tips, we'd sure like to hear them.
Roger, Simba 1. Will do. Over.
Now we cross the river, be on the lookout for Nile hippos in the water. They usually stay submerged most of the day. It's how they keep those large bodies cooled off. They can hold their breath underwater anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes. Hey, now here's some over here on the shallow side. They're right on the other side of that island. For an animal that lives in the water, they don't swim. They stand and walk along the bottom of the river. They'll come out of the water at night to feed on vegetation near the banks, and mature hippos can eat about 150 pounds a night. Males will weigh up to 5,000 pounds. Now right up around the corner here, there's some waterfalls. They might be underneath the waterfalls. There's not many of them right there.
Simba 1, when you come to Senegali Bridge, go pole, very slowly. That old bridge has seen better days, and I think our shifty-eyed friend, the crocodiles, know it.
Roger, Wilson, we see those crocs down there, and some pretty big ones too. Now, those are Nile crocodiles, and they'll get to be much larger than their cousin, the American alligator. Nile crocodiles will get about 20 feet long. Notice how one or two of them have their mouth open. That's actually how they regulate their body temperature. Hey, if you want to look up something pretty interesting when you get home, look up the difference between an alligator and a crocodile. It's usually three things. Now, coming up ahead is going to be one of the best views in the whole reserve. First, we're going to see our finest baobab trees. And let me guess what the children down in the village call baobab trees. They call them up. That's right. They call them upside down trees. Must have been talking to them earlier. Now Wilson and I figure this one here is about 1,000 years old. Baobabs can live up to 2,000 years. Let's see how many more you can find in the reserve. The savanna in front of us is part of the Serengeti grassland system. Zebra and wildebeest will migrate through it. Antelopes, lions, and elephants, well, they live here year-round. It is this part of wild Africa that we're working very hard to save.
Simba 1, I see you down there. You are in bush country. Drive carefully. I don't want you bumping into my animals.
You should begin to see a wide variety of grass-eating animals around you, such as Thompson's gazelle.
Miss Johnson, no one in Africa calls them Thompson's gazelle. They are turkeys. Turkeys. Over.
Hey, thanks for the information, Wilson. Now these large mounds of earth that you see over on the right, those are termite mounds, and they're as hard as concrete. Elephants use them for scratching posts, and when they wear them down like that, antelopes will stand on top of them to keep a lookout in the grass for any lions that might be hiding. And how they get so hard is that termite saliva and earth, when it dries, becomes very hard, just like concrete. On the right side, those large gray animals, a white-bearded wildebeest, they're the largest herds of migrating animals in the world. Look real close on the left here. You see a large brown animal in this tall grass. Those are Ankoli cattle. Now, a lot of folks know them by the name of Watusi cattle. Their horns will get about 5 or 6 feet long, and they're over 20 inches in circumference at the base. And these other large tannish gray animals, there's one on the right too. Those are Patterson eland, and they're the largest antelopes in Africa. And elands will get up to 6 feet tall at the shoulders. They'll weigh over 2,000 pounds. And on the right side, that little tan animal with the black stripe, that's a Tommy, Thompson gazelles, and those are fully grown Tommies. They only get to be about 60 pounds. And the other tan animal, the solid one, looks like a small deer, those are Impalas. Now both the Tommy and the Impala, they're both very fast runners. They're also long leapers. Impalas will leap up to 30 feet all at once. Tommy's a little bit less, after all they're a lot smaller. The landscape of the savannah is pretty much created by the animals that live here. Elephants are the bulldozers, and they'll knock down the trees to eat them, and that lets the grass grow. Giraffes are the pruning shears. They eat the leaves from the underside of the tree, and that lets in more sunlight. Zebras and wildebeest are the mowers. They'll knock down a lot of this tall grass, which allows new shoots to spring up. And the little nibblers, like gazelles and warthogs, they're the edge trimmers. In a naturally balanced system, there's enough food for all the animals. Now also coming up on the right, you'll see on the rise here, there's a dark brown animal. That's a herd of sable antelopes. Those animals were hunted just for one thing, and that was their horns. Oh, look real close in the trees up here on the left. There's a reticulated giraffe up there feeding. Now those giraffes are about 18 to 20 feet tall when they're fully grown. And you wouldn't think that such a large animal could disappear in the trees, would you? I just happened to see him move his head. On the other side of these rocks up ahead, where we sometimes find mandrills, and they're one of the largest and most colorful monkeys in Africa. The monkeys with the blue and red markings on their nose and back. Now, mature male mandrills, they'll get quite large. They can weigh up to 100 pounds. Hey, that's the alpha male, that big one down there that's got the real colorful face. He's the boss. But we are entering elephant country now, and this is home to our two most famous residents. Simba Wonder Wilson, any sign of Big Red?
I have not seen them today. Try the red clay pit.
Big Red is the elephant matriarch of the reserve's herd. She gave birth a while ago to a new calf.
He's just bathed in the same red clay pit as his mama. So I named him Little Red.
Elephants are wonderfully social creatures. They have moods, sympathies, and emotions. Over.
Hey, Miss Jobson, we're going to be heading by the red clay pits. We do have to take this detour. You saw that sign back there. Our regular road washed away a while back. This is the original road they built years ago. And we're going to have to go over this old bridge too. Now, this bridge is not in very good shape, folks. They've been out working on it, but I don't take any chances. I'm still going to go across a little slow. And you might want to hang on to the kids, and if we all cross our fingers, maybe we'll get across all right. Uh-oh, hold on. This isn't good. Hold on tight. Lean over to the right. Lean over to the right. Wow, that's what saved us right there. Enough people leaned. But you can't tell me that everybody crossed their fingers. I don't believe it. Simba Wonder Wilson, we're at the red clay pits, and I see lots of tusk marks and footprints. There's no sign of Big Red and Little Red over here. We're going to head over to the watering hole, see if we can find them.
I copy you, Simba One. Over.
Now, elephant calves, they're pretty much like humans. They'll stay with their mother until they're about 13 to 15 years old. During that time, she teaches them how to find food and water, and also how to socialize with other elephants.
Simba One, I have to report back to base. Over.
Sow, Wilson, just give us a call when you get back. Let me see if I can find some music on the radio. Oh, see that little one right there? That little one there is 3 weeks old, guys. Now let's see. Oh, she's trying to make noise. She's been out here exploring for about a week now. Over here on the left, there's some greater flamingos. Now, these are the lightest shade of pink of all the flamingo species. They get their coloring from the amount of vitamin A and carotene in their diet. Actually, when they start out, they're a grayish tan color. You see some younger ones over there, they do have a lot of gray and tan still in their feathers. They'll eventually turn all pink.
Zimmerman, come in, please.
Hold on, Wilson. All right, go ahead now.
I've got a report about the suspicious jeepney Wingo company. Keep a lookout for it.
All right, we'll be heading over by the crappies. Now, crappies is another Afrikaans word which means little head, which is a rise of rocks or a hill of rocks in the savannah. Afrikaans is the language of the Dutch settlers into South Africa.
So it is not useful, guys. Okay, 10-4. I am away for the moment. If you can help me out with that, that'd be great.
Alright, 10-4.
Now, over on the left side, a lot of times we'll see cheetahs. But you have to remember, cheetah is a cat, and what do cats do most of the day? Sleep. Well, these are no different. But when they're up and there's a white rhino over here on the right side. And we're going to get out of the way because he might come charging down that hill in a minute.
Oh, we need a lot more of those. Thank you very much.
Safari 6, Kilimanjaro.
Cheetahs are the fastest land animal in the world. They can sprint at speeds of 60 to 70 miles an hour for a short period of time. Simba Wonder Wilson, we're at the crappies and nothing suspicious here.
Please take the check off and set it down. Call me for the FFO. Okay, 10-4.
And over there on the right, there's a scimitar horned oryx or two. They get their name from the shape of their horns. They're looks like a scimitar sword from the Middle East. Now, that's a highly endangered species and only for their horns too. And on the left side, up in the crappies up there, a lot of times we'll find lions. Now, they do like to hang out at the highest point in the savannah. That way they can look out for any prey down below. But lions are inactive about 18 to 20 hours a day. They'll just come out at night usually, do their hunting, and that's done by the females. And on the left side, some warthog burrows. And there's one of my buddies up there feeding. The largest burrowing mammal in Africa.
What do I hear?
There are ivory poachers in the reserve. They shot Big Red. She is wounded.
What about Little Red?
No word yet.
Where was it last seen?
Magadi gone.
Okay, you head there.
Roger.
Zimmerman, we must stop the poachers. I am landing at Magadi Gorge to block up the east end. If you come in from the west, we could trap them.
Please, Simba One, we need your help.
What do you say, everybody? Want to help Wilson catch some poachers today?
Yeah.
All right, Wilson, count us in. Simba Wonder Wilson, we're at the crossroads, and it looks like the gate over here has been smashed through. What do you want us to do?
Keep going, Zimmerman. We are landing now.
All right. Might want to hang on to the kids now, because we're outside of the reserve.
Zimmerman, we spotted the poachers. Head east. Force them toward us.
All right, Wilson.
Safari 29, Kilimanjaro.
Uh-oh, there goes a green Jeep. That's going to be the poachers. Oh, I hope Wilson's got his trap set up. They're not going to get by us. We have the road blocked. Uh-oh, what's this up here? I don't know. You want to go in and see what it is? You know what? We just found the poachers' camp. I don't see anybody here. They're still in the Jeep. Hey, Wilson's got his trap set up. I haven't seen those poachers come back. I think we got them today.
cross them, Simona. You cross them
Right.
into our trap.
The wardens have Big Red. She'll be fine.
And there's Little Red in the back of the warden's truck.
See you, Simona. I have to deliver the baby elephant back to his mama. Asante sana.
Goodbye, Simba One, and thank you.
Well, bye for now. And Asante Sana, everybody, and thanks for helping us save Big Red and Little Red today. We're going to be heading back to the Warden's Post. From there, it's just a short walk down to the Pangani Forest Exploration Trail and also to Harambe Village. We do hope you come back to Africa to join us again real soon, because the animals, well, they're always waiting. Before we pull up to the Warden's Post, you want to check those net bags for any articles that you may have placed there before we left. And on the right side, watch your fingers when the warden opens the door. And here in Harambe, we don't ever say goodbye, but we use a Swahili term which means go well, and that's Kwaherini. So Kwaherini, everybody.
Hello. Watch your feet on the right, please. Watch step down as you exit.
And now have an Hakuna Matata day out there.
We got